Today we'll be reacting to Screen Rant's top 10 horror movie theories that will change the way that you watch the movie. Let's go ahead and get started.
Project. There's a theory that suggests time itself is being manipulated by the woods in the Blair Witch movies. In the first movie, Heather, Josh, and Mike wandered lost in the woods and never managed to find their car or the road, and it could be due to time being manipulated. The trio obviously wouldn't find their car or the road if they didn't exist yet. Moreover, at the end of the movie, Rustin Parr's house is very much standing and intact. But Blair Witch 2, which is set only a short time later, shows the house to have been in ruins for what appears to be a very long time.
Alright, so the first theory was that the woods is actually manipulating time in the Blair Witch Project. Now, never heard that theory before. Do I think it's valid? Possibly. I'm still gonna go down with the vibe that, it's the witch and, all that good stuff. So do I think it's the woods itself? It could possibly be a pawn in, how it's used to affect the group of people, but I'm gonna say that theory is not valid.
And Horizon? Well, there's a theory that it takes place in the same universe as the iconic Hellraiser movies. The journey in Event Horizon sees the main characters traveling beyond the known universe and ending up in a hell dimension full of chains and nails that's undoubtedly reminiscent of numerous scenes in the Hellraiser franchise. The theory suggests that you don't necessarily need the Lament configuration to reach the Cenobites dimension, as long as you have another way of getting there. When Sam Neill's Weir becomes a demon at the end, his transformation also resembles the Cenobites from the Hellraiser comic books.
Alright, let's talk about it. So that one, never heard of that theory with the Event Horizon being tied to Hellraiser, but from the scenes that we just checked out, seems very, very fucking valid. So maybe there's some type of connection there. Who knows?
Massacre. In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake and prequel, Leatherface's real name was revealed to be Thomas, but there was no such male name given in the original movie, and this theory suggests the character might actually have been female. It stems from the fact that Leatherface behaves like a stereotypical 1970s housewife, preparing food and whatnot. The theory also suggests Leatherface is responsible for the decor that adorns the house, and she even applies some lipstick and blusher to one of her masks in a famous deleted scene. The theory relies heavily on stereotypical gender roles, but stereotypes of that nature were more common in 1974, so it's definitely a plausible theory.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so could Leatherface be a female? Absolutely not. The reason why he does the house decor, if he is the one doing it, which I don't think it is, I think it's, there was a grandma in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I think that he's just, small-minded, if you will, and to put it in the best of terms. And so he's going to be doing the house cleaning and the cooking and all that because he's basically a small-minded person who they take advantage of, and they have him do the little things. So do I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre theory is valid of him being a female? Absolutely not.
Activity. This is without a doubt one of the craziest fan theories ever conceived, but it's undoubtedly very interesting. The theory is that the creator of the Paranormal Activity franchise, Oren Peli, made a deal with a demon from the movies in order to create one of the most profitable horror franchises in cinematic history. The theory suggests that the demon requires fear to grow stronger, so Peli offered it unlimited power by filming its misdeeds and showing them to millions of people. The footage was then released under the guise of a horror franchise, terrifying millions of people around the world, making the demon immeasurably powerful as it fed on that terror.
So okay, so I don't know if that theory is true. Weirder things have happened. So the theory goes, like the video said, Paranormal Activity, the creator and director made a deal with the devil to give them a limited amount of fear if they made this movie well, and so has history. So do I believe it? I think it's probably a wise tale. I'd have to hear from the director himself, but not valid. So far, Screen Rant, none of these theories are valid, but we'll keep going.
1922's Nosferatu set the standard for horror movies as we know them, and there's a theory that its star, Max Schreck, may have been an actual vampire. Schreck's horrifying performance as Count Orlok was very otherworldly, almost as if he was descended from rats rather than man. In the famous scene when he rose from a coffin, it's impossible not to feel as if you're watching a real monster, and a significant number of viewers watching the movie suspected that really was the case. His relative obscurity both before and after the movie fueled the theory. Schreck emerged from primitive Eastern Europe to film it, then mysteriously disappeared back into the darkness.
could Nosferatu be an actual creature, monster, if you will, from the 1922 Nosferatu? In a world of make-believe, yes, but no, it was just a really good actor who just faded in its obscurity after, you know, creating one of the most iconic horror movies of all time. So, theory not valid.
Movie adaptation of Stephen King's The Mist, when a group of people were stranded inside a supermarket after otherworldly creatures appeared inside of a mist and started killing everyone, religious zealot Mrs. Carmody suggested a sacrifice was needed to save everyone, even suggesting 8-year-old Billy Drayton should be it. This theory suggests she was right, because at the end of the movie, when Billy's dad killed everyone, including Billy, to spare them from a more horrific death, the mist immediately lifted and the military arrived to save everyone. If the theory's true, had the sacrifice been made when Mrs. Carmody suggested it, a lot of awful stuff would have been avoided.
Let's talk about it. Love the 2007 adaptation of The Mist. I don't think so, because the theory goes that there should have been a sacrifice earlier on in the film and none of that would have happened. I think people were dying left and right. Now, was there actual sacrifice with the humans? You know, no. It was all, you know, killing by the monsters up to that point. So maybe, but who knows? So that theory, I'm gonna go, it could be valid. Could be valid.
Bear on Elm Street. The iconic Freddy Krueger terrorized Elm Street protagonist Nancy Thompson in her dreams and beyond. But why her? There's a theory that suggests it's because Nancy was Freddy's daughter. Freddy had a backstory, but his reason for specifically targeting Nancy was never truly explained. The sequels even focused on Nancy's house, which might have been Freddy attempting to get close to his daughter and his previous home. He'd believed he would raise Nancy, which was why the movies gravitated toward the Thompsons in general, and it would certainly explain why Nancy's mother had Freddy's bladed glove in her basement, despite being one of the parents who burnt him to death.
Now that theory is fire. So could Freddy Krueger be the father of Nancy, right? And they point out some things like, you know, Nancy's mom had the glove. Why would Nancy's mom have the glove? Was, you know, Freddy a secret lover at one point? Ooh, that one's nice. That one's nice. I like that. I'm gonna give that one a top tier theory right there. That's top tier, brother. That is top fucking tier.
Two killers, Billy Loomis and Stu Maker, terrorized the town of Woodsboro, California. This theory, however, suggests there were actually 3, with the third being Scream 3's Roman Bridger. He's Sidney Prescott's illegitimate brother, and when he first showed up in Woodsboro, he was shunned by his mother, starting his killing spree. It just started earlier than we realized. He turned Billy and Stu into murderers, even joining in sometimes. A couple of continuity errors in the movie could be explained by a third killer, and the biggest hint came in a grocery store, when the killer's reflection appears over a brand of ice cream. The ice cream's name? Romantica.
That one was fire. So I've heard the theory before, you know, that there was 3 killers in the original, and that, of course, in Scream 3, Roman says that he helped out in the planning of the murders, but it was never specified if he actually killed anyone. But that pizza scene, wait a minute, that might have been fire. Let's go back and watch the scene.
And came in a grocery store, when the killer's reflection appears over a brand of ice cream. The ice cream's name?
Roman. Ooh, wait a minute. That's fire. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hellcats and Hounds, thank you so much for sticking around. This has been Top 10 Horror Movie Theories that could possibly change the way you watch the film. And the last one was really good. The Scream one was really good. Other than that, this list was okay. I'll give it a 6 or 7 out of 10. We'll do some more reaction videos. Make sure you comment down below your favorite horror movie theory that may change the way I watch a film. I'll read it, then I'll go check the film out, and I'll let you know if it made me change my mind. I'm your Homemaster Dede, and I'll see you Hellcats and Hellhounds in the next one. Peace.